Hello and welcome to our Lessons from Leaders feature. My name is Carl Webb and I work as part of the Careers, Employability and Skills team. And specifically, my role is focused on engaging with employers and helping to develop links that facilitate employment opportunities for students across all of our faculties and schools. During this feature, I am delighted that we have two highly esteemed business leaders sharing some really valuable insights into their personal career journeys and offering you some fantastic advice that should help you navigate your way into a successful career. Now, I fully appreciate that all of this can seem a bit daunting. Many of you are still not quite sure what you want to do when you graduate. And the whole prospect of finding that first job, it can be challenging. But it's okay to feel like that. And congratulations, you have taken an important step by registering for this event today. Whether you're here today to target a specific job with a particular employer, or you're hoping to stumble across something that piques your interest, you've taken that action required to help you make that happen. For most of us, jobs don't come knocking on our door. We have to take action. We have to be proactive and we have to take on that responsibility ourselves. If I was to give one piece of advice, it would be that you should maximize the support, the guidance and the advice from the experts that you have access to. Learning from these experts and industry leaders can accelerate your journey. And this applies in all walks of life. People have been in your shoes before. They have walked on the same path. They've experienced the same types of challenges. My advice would be listen to the lessons that they have learned. The first of our featured leaders is Chief Executive of NI Water. That's the organisation that is responsible for supplying 560 million litres of clean water every day for the people in Northern Ireland. And obviously water is something that we cannot live without. So that's a lot of responsibility. We're extremely proud that Queen's has produced many illustrious leaders. And Sarah Venning is an excellent example of a leader who encapsulates everything that this university represents. So let's listen to Sarah tell us about her journey and specifically how she feels teamwork can be a crucial ingredient to your skills profile.
Hello. As Chief Executive of Northern Ireland Water, it is my great privilege to lead an organisation at the very heart of our community, one which underpins the health, economy and environment of Northern Ireland. We view the delivery of clean, fresh drinking water and the safe management of wastewater as the essential service, and it is of course the first building block of any civilised society. To deliver this service, we have a fantastic team of around 1,300 men and women with a huge range of skills and professions. As a team, every day we supply around 840,000 households and businesses with approximately 560 million litres of drinking water. That's enough water to fill 240 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Or if we convert it to pints, we make 1 billion pints of water per day. We also collect and return safely to the environment over 330 million litres of used water. You could say we recycle it. And to do all that, we have 24 water treatment works around the country and over 1,000 used water recycling facilities. We move the water and sewage around a network of pipes that is 43,000 kilometres long. And there are over 1,300 people working every day to make sure that your water is always there and your used water taken away. Our people come from a wide-ranging number of backgrounds, from the scientists looking at water quality and environmental compliance, to the civil, electrical and mechanical engineers designing and maintaining our £3 billion asset base, and from data scientists who are helping us to use artificial intelligence to better control our plants and networks, to the accountants who ensure that our greater than £400 million turnover per annum is properly invested. We have lawyers dealing with property transactions and commercial contract awards, procurement professionals and an extensive ICT department. Our geographic information system is fully integrated into many of our corporate systems, allowing us to give real-time information to both our field force when troubleshooting and our customers. Our 500-strong field force are entirely mobile, with all their work delivered daily to tough pads in their vans. I absolutely love my job. I love the fact that no 2 days are the same, that I am always learning something new, constantly innovating and problem solving, and that importantly, what we do makes a difference to people's lives all across Northern Ireland. Although the irony is, we know we're doing a great job when people forget all about us. I've been a company director for 10 years now, with 6 of those years as chief executive. On more than one occasion, I've been asked, so what is it that you do? And I can see the person being rather taken aback when I tell them I'm the person in charge. To be honest, sometimes I have to pinch myself when I think about the job that I have. I certainly didn't start out with ambitions to be a CEO. I grew up in Cookstown, County Tyrone. I attended St Patrick's Girls' Academy in Dungannon, and I'm the eldest of 4 children. And in my experience, the oldest child is often the organiser, and so it was for me. Perhaps organiser is the polite word, the bossy one, my brothers and sisters might say. However you describe it, I was happy to step forward and take the lead, whatever needed done about the house. I like to organise and to make things better, and in fact, my dream job when I was about 8 or 9 was to stack shelves in the local supermarket and price the stock with one of those old-fashioned pricing guns. At school, I was driven to be the best that I could be, and that's something that has never left me. I excelled at the numeric and the scientific subjects, so when deciding upon a university course, engineering sounded like the right course for me. And I quickly decided that electrical engineering was where my future lay. When I went to Queen's, I was one of about 10 girls in a class of over 100. And whilst as a female I was most definitely in the minority, I never felt treated any differently. Our lecturers and tutors demanded the best of us all, and I spent many's a long hour in the Ashby building, and I loved every minute of it. I was very lucky to be offered a graduate position as an electrical engineer with Northern Ireland Electricity, and my time at NIE gave me an insight into the importance of working for a utility. That focus on getting the job done, on doing things better, because at the end of the day you're providing an essential service. It's truly a 24/7 job, it's a way of thinking, and it becomes a way of life. I joined NI Water in April 2010 as a Director of Customer Service Delivery, looking after a team of about 850 people, and I had responsibility for clean water production, for wastewater treatment, and all elements of billing and customer service. I was tasked with driving customer service improvements and cost efficiencies, which were a great introduction to the company and a great experience base for my subsequent appointment as CEO 4 years later. The COVID-19 pandemic has obviously been a challenging period for all of us in our home lives and at work. For Northern Ireland Water, it was essential that we continued to deliver our service as usual while supporting our own people. Our priority was to keep our teams safe for their own well-being, but also because if we lost large numbers of our team to the pandemic, that would have compromised our ability to deliver our service. And you all need water to wash your hands. Fortunately, we were well placed to deal with COVID-19 when it hit. We immediately enacted our well-practiced major incident process. Communication was key, and thanks to the foresight of our planners, we were in a position to be able to reach all our staff electronically with immediate effect. We had 2 challenges: to support our office staff to work remotely, which we achieved seamlessly, and to support our field staff to safely continue to work on our sites and in our labs. We were competing with the rest of the world to secure the PPE that we needed. Demand for water reached all-time highs in the late spring, early summer, and our teams had to work around the clock to ensure that we could meet customer demand. We also stepped up our support for our colleagues, providing them with a dedicated website to answer all their questions about COVID-19. We developed a whole suite of videos and advice packs to help our people through the challenge of working from home while juggling homeschooling and all the other additional pressures. Since then, we've had a whole series of virtual engagement events to keep people informed, engaged, protected and feeling part of the NI Water family. I'm delighted that we remain on target against all our KPIs despite the challenges, including that prolonged dry spell in the early summer and the flooding that we had at the end of August. It's been tough, but an extremely rewarding 6 months. I have no doubt that our ability to respond so effectively to the pandemic is because we did so as a team. We know from our annual survey that colleagues feel extremely proud to work for Northern Ireland Water. We have worked hard to foster that goodwill by listening to colleagues and by making them feel valued and supported. We are one large team and everyone has an important role to play in delivering what matters. As CEO of the organisation, I make a point of visiting all our 8 regional offices at least twice a year to update our teams locally on our progress and challenges, and to listen to and answer their questions and concerns, no matter how big or small. Before the meeting, we all have a breakfast together and a catch up, and it's really like being part of one big family. We also have a well-defined corporate social responsibility programme, including our Cares Challenge, where every month a team from NI Water spend a day doing voluntary work for a local charity or community group. These are fantastic events where we're able to give so much needed help and support to the community that we live in. Our people get a huge amount from the help that they give, and also from meeting colleagues from other areas of the organisation that they might not normally see. We're in our 7th year now, and we have given thousands of hours of help. We demonstrate our support for our colleagues through an extensive health and wellbeing programme covering both mental and physical health, plus a commitment to diversity and inclusion. Perhaps above all, leadership and teamwork is about having integrity and treating colleagues and our teams with respect, whilst modelling and expecting excellence by helping everyone fulfil their potential. I said at the beginning of this video, I love working for Northern Ireland Water, and I know colleagues across the organisation feel the same way. That's because of the vital service we provide to the communities we live in, but also because Northern Ireland Water is a fantastic place to work and a fantastic team to be part of. Nothing is more important than the provision of water and wastewater services, and our team who deliver those services include our frontline field operatives, civil, mechanical and even a few electrical engineers, scientists, both traditional and data, accountants, lawyers, IT and HR professionals, to name but a few. Working for Northern Ireland Water will challenge you. You'll be pushed to give your all, but you'll be rewarded and you'll be given the opportunity to be part of something that is bigger than the sum of its parts, to be part of a company that gives back more than it takes out. Some of you might be lucky enough to join us, and for everyone else, please enjoy our product. Good luck with whatever career path you choose, and thank you for your attention.
Some really good advice there from Sarah, and it's very obvious and clear why teamwork is so crucial in this organisation. And while Sarah holds such a senior role in such a crucial organisation, she always seems to remain amazingly calm. And as we heard, Sarah never set out to be a chief executive. Her journey was made possible through her work ethic and her drive to succeed in whatever she was involved with. Sarah also reminds us that skills can be picked up across all aspects of your life and applied to your career. The skill that Sarah picked up as the eldest sibling, for example, in her family helped her through her career journey. So moving from water to another valuable resource, electricity, and specifically the systems operator for Northern Ireland, Sony, part of the EirGrid group. Sony is responsible for the safe, secure and reliable supply of electricity in Northern Ireland. And I'm delighted that we have their head of external communications, Natasha Saee, sharing some of her insights into her own career journey and specifically some advice on how important it is for us to be passionate in our pursuit.
I'm Natasha Saee, Head of External Communications at Sony. That's the electricity system operator for Northern Ireland. We run the Northern Ireland Power System and the wholesale electricity market. We work out of the Northern Ireland Power System Control Centre in East Belfast, and it's our job to match the demand for electricity with supply on a second-by-second basis and to transport it on the grid to where it's needed. Our new strategy is focused on delivering a clean energy system for Northern Ireland. Look, I think we all know that the climate crisis is very real. It's here. And we're working with government, with NIE networks, with the energy industry, with politicians, landowners, communities, youth activists and councils to transform the Northern Ireland power system for future generations. We're here at the Queen's Recruitment Fair virtually, and we're looking for the next generation of electrical and power system engineers, climate scientists, market analysts, and engagement and communication specialists who I will be working with. And it's great to have a chance to talk to you today. If you've got any questions or you want to get in touch about our graduate programme or placement opportunities, do drop me an email to info@sony.ltd.uk. Well, my journey here hasn't been exactly straightforward. And when I was at Queen's, if you told me I'd end up as a senior manager at a utility company, I really don't think I'd have believed you. At school, I was head girl in straight A's and living in Mid-Ulster with my mum from Belfast, with my nanny and aunts and uncles in Belfast. Really, all I wanted to do was go to Queen's. But I had a love of geography and environment and of nature, and I was a young Greenpeace activist, and I thought I might study geography or geology. But I also had a love of debating, of the stage and of public speaking, and was involved in local radio from I was about 16. But I'm from a more traditional family, so you're either a doctor, an engineer or a lawyer, and so law it was. But from day one, it just wasn't right for me. I excelled at the more discursive, grey subject matter, but really not in the technical. And that's no reflection on my tutors in Queen's or the faculty, it's just the way my brain's wired. I also discovered student and independent radio, and I really did spend most of my time fitting the odd class in between radio stations, hosting my own shows, eventually getting a slot on Cool FM at the age of 19, and that was it really. At that point, contracts, land disputes and tort really just weren't doing it for me. I should also say that I had a very healthy social life, perhaps spending more time in the speakeasy than I did in the law library, which didn't help grow my love of law. But then I developed another dream. I'd stand outside the revolving door of the BBC in town and just think I want to work there. Radio was good. It wasn't enough. I wanted to be on TV and I wanted to move into reporting, using my investigative nature, my passion for public speaking and my love of current affairs to become a reporter. And that's what I did. I completed law. Then I moved to England where I did a postgrad in broadcast journalism, worked my way through the BBC until I was the most senior general reporter in the Belfast newsroom and acting Ireland correspondent. And I worked on every story imaginable, from the MTV Europe Awards coming to Belfast, to the unfortunate economic downturn, to from elections to crime. My work took me to Europe, to Africa, and to the Indian Ocean, where I spent time on an assignment which actually became the longest foreign assignment ever completed by Northern Ireland reporters. And during that time, that really changed me. I spent some time reflecting on what I wanted to do with my life. I'd become really good at reporting, at journalism. I was at the top of my game, but it wasn't exciting anymore. It wasn't a challenge. And so I stepped into business and I haven't looked back. I lead a team of amazing PR, media, communications and engagement specialists doing the most challenging work I've ever done. And one thing I really loved about the BBC is that you never really knew what a day was going to throw at you, and it is absolutely the same in business. And what's amazing about this role is that it's a complete blend of everything I'm good at and interested in. So people, current affairs, and with that focus that we have on climate change, well, I've just come full circle in terms of my love for the environment and sustainability, which I really care about. But I should say none of this was planned, but I am really passionate about what I do. And if it's challenging, then I bring my best every day. If it forces me to drive hard, then it is something I will stick with. And if you're like me, with a fire in you, with that drive, harness that passion, hook it into your career and keep moving until it feels right, and you will succeed. A law degree from Queen's has provided me with a really solid platform to allow me to make all of these jumps and leaps. It says to an employer that you're informed, you're considerate, you're investigative, you're confident and analytical. You could be a judge, you could be a barrister, a solicitor, an in-house solicitor, or you could become a reporter, or you could become a business leader. With a law degree from Queen's, really, the world is at your feet, so go grab it. So, passion. I've talked here a lot about my own passion, how it motivates me, drives me, but there is a balance. And I think at times my passion has blinded me, particularly perhaps when I was at the BBC, where I would have got just gone through walls really to succeed without perhaps taking on board others or their feelings or collateral damage really. And you can really only get so far on the steam of your own passion. To be truly successful, and I mean this, you need to take that passion, use it to motivate others, collaborate with them, understand what makes them tick, and then think about how you can combine all that fire together to together achieve all that's possible. You know, people with passion are warriors. We're fierce, we're strong, but I've learned that can be intimidating and that can lead to isolation. So don't do a solo run. Find your squad. Find your network, your battalion. You'll achieve so much more together and it will be a much better experience for you. If you're interviewing for a role, display your passion proudly and it will shine through, but make sure you back it up. And that means giving examples of how you've put your passion into play to go the extra mile, whether that's being top of your class in your subject, whether that's volunteering, coaching others, or taking on extra training. And try to keep a lid on your passion during an interview. What I found throughout my whole career, and it continues to this day, is that nerves and passion can be a really dangerous combination. So you can go one of two ways. You can appear arrogant and overconfident, or you can get jittery and you can end up waffling. So breathe, prepare again. And when you get into that room, whether you're presenting or you're sat in front of an interview panel, plant yourself like a big oak tree. You know, really sink your feet into the floor like you're growing roots and take some time to blossom. In terms of working through the pandemic, no one saw it coming, but business has had to pivot really quickly to mitigate its impact. And as a business leader, it's not just about keeping the business afloat, about meeting targets or sales. It's very much about working with your colleagues, looking after your friends or your alliances in your working world. And I'd really hoped by the time the Queen's Recruitment Fair was on that we'd be able to set up our Sony stand to meet you and understand your passions and dreams for your future career. But we're really pleased to be taking part virtually. And as I've said, if you want to know more about Sony or our graduate scheme, drop me an email to info@sony.ltd.uk and we'll make sure we put you in touch with the right person. And that's info@soni.ltd.uk, just to clear that up. I do feel a bit tired at this point. The last few months have been challenging, not just for our business, but for Northern Ireland PLC. But to get through this, we all need to dig deep, keep going. And let's face it, if Northern Irish people are anything, we are resilient. And I think this is a key skill for working through the pandemic and actually for work in the future for you guys. You have to have that grit and determination and drive to keep going. But you need to hold on to your vision and passion, not just to get through the other side, but also to do your best to ensure your business and your role is successful, to try to meet those targets and to keep the business afloat. On that, you need to be flexible and adaptable. Part of my role is overseeing our external engagement programs, and we've had to make changes really quickly to move on to digital and online platforms such as this in order to meet people like you and have those conversations. You need to be empathetic as well. What issues are your colleagues dealing with at home? How can you support them? You know, really, relationships are the absolute cornerstone of good business. Taking time to get to know those who you're working with. If someone doesn't sound right on the phone, you'll know that there's something wrong. Or if someone is on a video call but maybe isn't making as much of a contribution as they would normally, well, what's going on? You know, you need to find that out and try to help. That's really important. But it's also essential to look after yourself. To ensure that you get that me time that you need for that headspace. I really like to swim outdoors alone, just so I can have that little bit of downtime. We will absolutely get through this. It will be hard at times. So channel that passion that you have to keep focused on what's important and look after yourself and others. In terms of my final words, I just think you're so lucky. Enjoy and soak up every minute of your time at Queen's. Think about what you want to get out of it and do it your way. I've talked a lot about passion here. What I've said is it's a great thing to have. It's a warrior's trait, but create your battalion. Don't do it on your own. Network and make those friends for life. I mean, my best friends are my family. I met them at law school at Queen's. They're my unit. They're my power source. I just couldn't imagine life without them. So go get that. Go get it all. Take everything that this experience has to offer you. And on passion, it is an exceptional standout quality, but it is like magic and you have to challenge it and control it and make it work for you. So look, every good wish on your journey at Queen's, and I look forward to maybe hearing from some of you. Take care.
Some really, really good examples there from Natasha on passion, and some fantastic insights and advice from her career to date. And what is really interesting is that Natasha's career, like so many others out there, has not been linear. Not all career paths go in a straight line. Natasha was a law graduate who carved a successful career in radio and TV before moving into public affairs and corporate communications, and now holding an influential role with a key NI utility provider. The beginning of your career doesn't necessarily define where you will end up. And I think that exploring your options and opening up to a plethora of opportunities is the best way for you to approach these first steps in your career. The core skill of being a team player, a contributor, someone who can add value in a team environment, someone that can identify with the wider cultural values and behaviours. These are the skills that are clearly seen as being highly desirable by employers. So please take the time to think how you can demonstrate this. How have you been a team player? Or what skills do you have that will allow you to be an expert team worker? And of course, being passionate is crucial. By being passionate, having focused energy and enthusiasm is something that employers want to see from you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're an ultra confident presenter or an extrovert, but it does require you to demonstrate that you have a dogged determination. You have the capacity to focus your attention and get something done. So if you're interviewing for a job, as well as communicating some energy and enthusiasm, demonstrate that you can translate your skills into action. Give them some insight into your passion. We will continue our Lessons from Leaders session tomorrow, where we will be joined by another two key industry leaders. Mark McCormick is Head of Technology with leading US insurance company Aflac, and Mark Dugan, who's NI Director of the Princess Trust. And they will be sharing their experiences and focusing on another two skills, adaptability and courage. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the afternoon and make sure that you can open up to as many conversations with employers as you can. The Careers, Employability and Skills team are here across the 2 days, so feel free to reach out at any time. And good luck.